Hello world!
Hello world.
And thank you for tuning in and welcome to Night Errant! I'm sitting here with Sleeping Bear and Lasva.
Yep.
And they just played their very first game of Warhammer 40k 8th edition! Before we start, this is Night Errant, so there will be drinking, smoking and swearing. So if you're not into all that, I suggest you go watch one of my excellent tutorials where I never swear.
You have those?
I never swear when I do my tutorials.
Oh. I hadn't noticed. Are they silent?
I was more like, no, Dark Angel is not a swear word, would you stop?
No.
So anyhow,
Yeah.
you guys just had your first match, and don't spoil who won. But how did it feel thus far?
Well, I must say, it felt okay. I mean, for a game that's not enjoyable in any way, I will not at all touch this hobby ever again, because it has nothing to do with skill. It's all in die rolling, and it's just no tactical idea anywhere. It's just either you roll the sixes or you don't roll the sixes, and I don't roll the sixes. I don't like sixes. It's not a pretty number.
And
No. Seriously, it's of course, I was not expecting to win. The Space Marine army I played here was not tailored in any way to combat the Necron threat. And even though I used to play Dark Angels myself in a much earlier edition, I don't think really Space Marines are a good fit for me in how they play. So, with all that in mind, I was not expecting to win at all this game from the beginning. I had, at one point in the battle, I had a reasonable hope of maybe pulling a slight victory, or
at least a draw.
Or at least a draw, and then he had his first turn.
And everything you just killed came back?
Yeah, and yeah. Basically, everything. I made a very major tactical blunder during deployment. That was felt throughout the game, and other than that, the dice were really against me in this game. But I must say, we were able to play an entire game without any of us actually having read the rulebook, with just looking.
Which was the main objective for us.
And we looked up a few rules in the rulebook, but we didn't spend a lot of time looking in the rulebook. Actually, I've spent more time looking through the rulebook in a game where I feel really comfortable with the rules and that I'm used to playing than I spent here, and that's a big thing. And everything was a lot more streamlined in the way it played.
That was also from behind the camera my experience, that after actually the first player turn, the rulebook were used when first assault ensued, and then actually you only, other than that, I think you looked up stats 4 times or something, and that was stats, not rules, because the rules, they were just like bam, oh, that's the rules.
That's true. Did I look up quite a bit of the stats, but that's
but not that much.
No.
And stats is something you have to look up when you're first starting an army, or if you're playing an army you're not used to. And when you start a new edition, you check, because I'm pretty confident that it's what the stats are in the models, but we can't be sure.
Yeah.
And for instance, this guy we played as having a 2-up save, but it's a 3-up.
But
we played him as toughness 4 and it's 5. But nobody ever shot him, so it doesn't matter because He doesn't run very fast, and he won't get into the Razorback, not even if you bribe him.
No. And just to... Oops. I can see why.
They can't see what's down on the table right there, I think. But.
Okay.
But, if we just pull them up next to each other, he's about as tall as that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But if you go out and stand next to Lasfar's car, you wouldn't believe that we three would fit in that.
Yes, but people with dignity would not fit into that car either.
That's true. So, Sleeping Bear.
Yes. I was actually expecting to win. Because I will say a 20-man warrior blob with Bengals, who we used the rules for Illuminosaurus for him, is a very potent combo. And I was pretty confident that I've never run it before, but I was pretty confident that it would be, and I was right. It dominated the middle of the table.
And it made sure you didn't have to worry about that at any point.
Yeah. I could focus on all the other stuff, and they still did damage whenever. They didn't have a lot of good shooting opportunities, but they had one good round of shooting, and they destroyed the unit that were shooting at.
Yeah.
Also, you ended the game with 3 command points left because you had so many dice.
Yeah,
and that re-rolling one just seemed...
it seemed pointless. And also, and then I'll say the new reanimation protocols feel really, really good. I wasn't sure about how I felt about it because I only played 7th edition before, and I liked them back then, but I also really like them now. I think I might even like them more, because the thing is, you keep coming back. Mm-hmm. I had 5 Tesla models take such a stupid amount of punishment, and they just kept coming back.
Yeah. They went down to 1 guy, and then 3 came back in the next turn, and boom.
And stuff like that, and it took up a lot of shooting from that far.
Yeah.
A lot of shooting.
Yeah, basically, my entire game was...
Trying to get rid of those.
Was focused on that one unit.
Yeah. That brings me on to the Nightbringer, which I said I hoped would be my MVP. I didn't believe it would be my MVP. I hoped it would be because I really like the model and I like the lore of this captured godling trying to, at one point, appease its captors, but also really straining to break free and stuff like that. And it was worth its points. It definitely was.
Yeah.
It was not my MVP. That was the Immortals soaking up the gunfire, but it does a lot of damage.
The amount of luck, though, that went into that Nightbringer, going down to its last wound and then just unable to take any more wounds.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll give it that. I'll give you that. But if it is allowed to punch anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything that's not a vehicle, at least.
I think I would like it to act like other monsters and at least be weakened, because it was really dangerous. But then again, as you said, it's a godling. Yeah. So it also makes sense it's not weakened.
And it was ungodly lucky.
Yeah.
It was ungodly lucky, but I will still say...
In its survivability. Not so much in its damage dealing, because... since it's 2+2+2+, you don't really get a save.
Yeah,
that's.
And also, it never used Gaze of Death, or maybe used it once. Once, which was not spectacular, but that combined with the Antimatter Meteor, which was the one I chose, really means that I think had it gotten close to the character, it would have pulled 3 to 4 wounds off.
That's one of the few things I actually got right about the Necrons from the start. I did not want that guy to get anywhere near my characters, and I succeeded in that.
Yeah. The problem was your characters never really got close to
anything else either.
Except the librarian got off a lot of.
He did get off a lot of psychic powers,
especially keeping the big blob of warriors unable to hit.
Yeah.
Well, not unable to hit, but unable to.
Destroy everything. They were, by the way, they also got pretty lucky. They got, I'm not sure we even mentioned that in Battle Report.
Otherwise I'll have to put it in some text. That, by the way, he did that and that happened, and they got...
Yeah, they got +1 ballistic skill, which is...
Huge, especially when there's a librarian giving the -1.
Yeah. So, in general, Necrons feel I went with a pretty immobile list. a gun line moving forward, the inexorable advance of the undead horde, and they matched that field really well, I think.
Did. The problem was, for me at least, the Space Marine list here that we had here was made basically along the same lines, because it was a lot of we had the tacticals, we had the primaries, there was a lot of walking and gunning as well, and they do not do it as well as the Necrons. When I played Dark Angels in earlier, I played a lot of Ravenwing heavy armies, and I like that a lot more. I do like mobility, and I do like throwing hard punches and then getting the shit hell out of dodge.
I would say my preferred strategy in 7th edition was having still a pretty hefty core that moved forward slowly, but then having Wraiths and Scarabs move about in like covering everything. I
actually think you would enjoy Land Raiders in this edition.
Yeah, right.
Because they have the power of the Machine Spirit, so they can move and shoot.
Yeah.
And they have space enough for a lot of guys to pour out, and they can jump back in and drive to somewhere else. And
it was I actually have an unpainted Land Raider back home. I got really cheap at some point. It's actually been put together and everything, and magnetized, and not by me before I bought it, but unpainted.
Okay. That being said, I think the game in general, I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm very much looking forward to the codices arriving. Especially, I think Necrons are pretty good right now, but I really want to see what they do with dynasties, and I really want to see what they do with our relics.
My big fear in that is the power creep, because the Space Marine Coda is hit, and it was basically all around a huge buff for every chapter at pretty much at no cost. Meaning that for now they're just better. And I kind of hope. I mean, I like the idea that you use command points to buy relics and stuff. I think it's awesome, but it doesn't work before everybody gets to do that.
That's. I'd say this is still a Games Workshop game, and power creep is not something that I fear, it's something I expect.
I'm not sure I agree.
I mean, because this is new Games Workshop, remember?
Yeah.
Also, but what I'm saying, also they promised more or less that the codices will arrive in pretty short order.
At least the first 10 codices will arrive before Christmas, I think. This year.
So they will be arriving short, and which means they must have been written at least somewhat with people talking together, is my hope.
That is, as I understand it, that is the case. That the rules team is now a rules team and not some detached writer in a basement somewhere. And either hating the army they got or loving it.
And
and Matt Ward is not running any of them.
That's a good thing. So that
could be Jervis Johnson.
Anyway, they're in a team and things are being game tested and stuff like that, as I understand it, and I think that is a huge step up from how do we sell this? All the places where you wrote a number under that S, just replace the number with a D and put another £20 on the price tag.
No, in general, I really enjoyed, and I think, but the codices will bring a bit more depth, I think, as well, because I also think I like command points. I think it feels a bit, I don't know, like there's not really enough special stuff.
It's just rerolls right now.
Just rerolls.
Whereas if you look at the Space Marine Codex, it's crazy. I mean, you can easily spend 9 before the battle starts. But then again, because they have a codex, you also have plenty of ways to get more command points. I mean, characters that give extra command points. There is a warlord trait for the Ultramarines that allows you to regain all command points you use.
So that brings me back to the one element of basically, well, most Games Workshop games that I don't like, and that really, 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 really destroyed things for me in this game is random movement distance. Random movement distance.
Oh, the riding?
Advance, roll a d6 extra. I had several people advance 1 inch. Actually, only once advanced more than 1 inch.
Yeah, and that was 4.
Yeah.
And you had no charges succeeding.
I had one. The really unimportant one over here.
Yeah, that's right.
Succeed. That annoys me because when you visualize a strategy, I want these to go here,
and especially
I want to be able to actually expect them to go there.
Like, I mean, in the fantastic epic movie rolling in my head when I'm playing, it's not like I imagine the Dark Angel Space Marine in his power armor. I mean, tripping over a rock and something like, ow!
But I think maybe in accordance with advance, I see it more as you should never plan on advancing.
Yeah.
You should always expect to not advance.
Yeah.
And then this is the full like.
Yeah.
Okay, it's this or lose the game. Fine, I'll go for it. Or it's I'm fine with the 1.
Yeah. I really would like to get that objective, so I'll try to advance for it, but I might not get it.
But it's not so much the advance rolls as it was the charging 2d6 inches.
Yeah.
It is very random.
Yeah.
But I also feel that is another place where we see that the codices are not out yet.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that, for instance, as a Dark Angel player, you would, when the codices come out, have ways of mobility, because they always had that. Yeah. You have your bikes driving in with teleport homers.
Yeah.
Then my guess would be Deathwing can show up as long as they're within 6 of a Ravenwing. They only have to be 6 from an enemy, for instance, or stuff like that. I mean, all those special army-specific coolness things are not here yet.
No.
White Scars now, for instance, have a bunch of cool mobility stuff in their chapter tactic, in their warlord traits, in their stratagems, so they can.
But that means we're going back to the whole, basically just like early edition. No, we don't have a movement stat, but everybody has special movement rules. And
that's not because your movement stat determines your movement.
Yeah.
If you
But what I mean is
reliably faster than that.
Yeah, but what I mean is the whole special rules orgy that Games Workshop has usually winds up in before they make a new edition.
But the thing is, I think with this they embraced the special rule, because everything basically is a special rule.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything is on your data sheet. It's you have rules for this unit. You don't have rules that are general.
Yeah, that's true.
You have some are shared, but they're all special rules. And I think that's better than just having like, this is what you need. Oh no, really, this is what you need.
Yeah.
I think it's better. I had an interview with one of the guys who made the rules, where he was asked, like, how did you cut down the core rule set? Was that hard? And he was like, no, first thing I did was I looked at the vehicles, realized that the rules, just for a vehicle being in the game, were more pages than the actual core rules for the game.
Yeah.
So taking those out, we were already a good step of the way. And I think that's a big part of it. Like, make the core rules so simple that we three can drink a bottle of whiskey and still play a game without even reading the book.
Yeah.
And then to make it tactical on a higher level, to make it advanced, you open up. I mean, even when all the codices are out, there are no rule against 2 kids going out, buying the boxes they think look cool, with the datasheet in the boxes, putting down their models, looking at the power level, saying, oh, you have more than me, I get this bonus, play, with a free rule set.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
But you can add the more advanced, and you can, I mean, we could stick to open play if we don't want it to get advanced.
Yeah.
No Battle Fortune armies, no stratagems, no army-wide special rules, just the datasheets.
Yeah. That's true. I think I like the varying degrees of depth that you can get.
Yeah, I definitely like. I mean, I was almost lured into Age of Sigmar, but just by the fact that I might risk having fun after I played a bunch of 7th edition. I was like, oh, but all these people who play Age of Sigmar looks like they're having fun.
Yeah, they're doing it wrong.
And that's the thing.
I know I said that 1,000 times, but I kind of love how everybody who was not playing Warhammer Fantasy or Age of Sigmar were very, very vocal about their hatred for Age of Sigmar, while everybody who was playing Age of Sigmar loved it.
Yeah.
I still haven't played it. But again, I kind of stopped playing Warhammer Fantasy when they introduced a lot more random movement.
Yeah. As I remember it, the reasoning for all the random movement was that if you're allowed to pre-measure, then movement has to be random. But I think they disproved that with Shadow Armageddon, actually.
Yeah, and second edition, and
no, you can pre-measure in second edition. Pre-measuring were allowed from 4th edition and onwards.
Okay.
I will say, however, my reasoning for my understanding of why you have to have random charge lengths is that if you only...
You would never be afraid of provoking Overwatch for once.
No.
You would always just drive into the Rhino to take all the Overwatch and then...
Yeah, and also you could... Like, if a charge range for Terminators was 8 and you have to drop 9, they suck. If they have 10 and they drop 9...
very true.
They would be overpowered as...
Yeah.
You can swear.
As fuck.
Fuck is not overpowered.
No, but Terminators would be.
Yeah.
And that's my point. Like, there has to be some randomness in that element, because otherwise it's just... It creates an imbalance.
Yeah.
And it sucks sometimes.
That's true with how it's built up with deep striking.
Actually, also first turn would be way too powerful if you could be sure that charges would go on this distance. So I move up to here. Now you can either just stand there and take it, or you can come at me, but I will get the charge because I got to move first, so I'll always keep the distance so that I get to charge.
Yeah.
That's...
Which would make the life of an assault army really tough or really, really easy.
Yeah.
Also, and again, mobility becomes king like that. And I get you like mobility, so you want it to be king.
No, it's not that necessarily needed to be king like that. But but at least, then at least would have instead of charging 2d6 inches, then let me charge
movement plus 1d6 or 1d3 or whatever. Yeah.
But that is already solved for you in the core rule set. You want to play your bikes.
Yeah, might be.
Have you looked up your bikes?
Nope.
They are faster.
Yes, they are faster, but do they charge faster?
Yes, they have a special rule.
Not so much faster. What I want is charging more reliably.
They're more reliable.
And I get that, and that makes sense.
Same goes for, as far as I understand, all cavalry, all flyers, everything that should be reliably doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turbo boost. Advances at 16. No, that's just when they advance. Tigers do that. Not when they charge.
Oh.
No.
It's just when it advances, it adds 6 to the movement characteristic for the movement phase instead of rolling a die. So it fixes the advance.
It fixes the advance.
And
that's a charge that really...
but right there, you already have the example of a rule that fixes it.
Yeah.
All you need now is for a chapter tactic that...
Or an army. Some kind of army that has reliable charges.
Yeah, but also... what are you doing?
But I'm not Eldar.
Also, but the thing is with the charges, I think maybe reliable charges. More reliable charges.
Yeah.
However, I will say in this particular game, it felt like you were unlucky, but they were 9 to 10 inch charges.
There were 9.
No, the last one over here.
The last one was 10, but the last one was.
But that is actually also true.
Yeah. And you succeeded in one of them, you failed in one of them, and then you failed in a 10 inch charge.
Yeah.
Which is actually, it was unlucky that the one that succeeded was the unimportant one.
And another one was that the other ones that didn't succeed failed to succeed in a way that I couldn't even re-roll a die to have a chance.
Yeah. In the last instance, you didn't have any command multiplier either. But
I'm not even thinking about the last one instance.
But that's true.
But it's just, just here.
Anyway, actually, I think we just came into the conclusion that yes, you can make that. What do you call it? hail shot.
Hail Mary pass.
Hail Mary pass.
Yeah.
And make it. But you would probably be a lot better off if you were within 7 before you even attempted to charge.
Yeah. That's true. That's true, but...
and you can easily get within that. You just need to use transports.
Yeah.
Or just or not drop down ready for the charge. It is... I mean, I would have done the same. It's really alluring to drop down 9 away and charge. But you could drop down in some cover, shoot... Move a bit forward and then charge.
That's true.
That's true.
I mean, you're not a gene stealer.
Yeah. Which was
yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yet, because if I get into 40k again, which right now seems alluring, but I've been hurt before, so I think I'll need to. Take it slowly and try it on a bit more before, because that was actually when I first came across 40k when it was still in the 2nd edition. What I really, really, really wanted to play was Gene Stealer Cult Force, and then came just when I was about to. Now there's actually a tournament I want to make an army for. Then came out 3rd edition, and they decided this tournament will be played with 3rd edition rules. Cool set, and 3rd edition rules did not include the Gene Stealer Cult Force.
Even if there was Gene Stealers in the basic starter box.
Yeah.
But no cult.
Yeah, they might, but no cult. There wasn't a cult force. The Gene Stealers were only part of the Tyrannid army, and I didn't really want to play Tyrannids. I want to play the Gene Stealer Cult Force. I want to play the suppressed workers that were uniting, and I want to play a fucking labor union with balding issues.
I think you should look a bit at the different god regiments. There are a few there that might appeal to you.
I also
or you could just play Iron Hands.
Oh, you could
they have some really cool rules there.
Yeah. When I first got into reading about 40k and stuff like that, I wanted to play the Imperial Guard. Also, I've read a lot of Gaunt's Ghost books, so there's some clear inspiration there. But also, I really like the ideas of the thing. I think they basically take the story of an entire army. Yeah.
Are you still here?
Well, I'm talking about Gaunt's. Do you know how many books there are to cover?
If you want to support this channel, there's a link to Patreon below. And other than that, see you next time, and take care, and bye-bye.
What Necrons do is take they have a lot of the same things that I think play-wise I enjoy in Imperial Guard, like...
Yeah, except there are not that many, but they don't die. So it feels like you have an internal army.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't have to paint as many models.
And you don't have to paint as many models. Also,
easier color scheme. And
also, the thing is, I enjoyed the new Necron lore. Back then, it was
very two-dimensional.
Very two-dimensional. I know a lot of people really hate the new lore, but I love it, and I love it because it's a lore. It's not just we woke up, everything must die. It's more like...
Now that's like me in the morning before coffee.
Yeah. And maybe they were like that before they got their coffee. But now some of them have had their coffee and they're like, let's just... you don't have to die. You just have to stay the fuck away from us.